Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is October the 14th of 2022. My dad's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Dad. Hope you got the card. Um, anyways, today we're not going to be reading from Isaiah. Um, I have been getting a completely different message yesterday about something else that I think we need to talk about something interesting that happened. Um, and this will be kind of a short video. I'm starting this late. It is 20 minutes past the time where I usually start recording. So this will probably not be one of my big hour-long talks like I usually do. Hopefully short. I don't know. And I also want to say that there are no real answers here. I have spent the last 30 minutes plus whatever I did yesterday looking this up as well, plus however long I spent my whole lunch hour contemplating this yesterday, trying to figure this out, and then little places in between, trying to put the puzzle pieces together, praying to God that He would help me put this together, because for some reason it's sticking in my head like it's something we need to talk about. So what it is yesterday, the Rob Skiba channel on YouTube, his wife, I think it was his son, but it might have been both of them. I don't know. They decided to do a live stream of videos of what they said was the most popular videos that people wanted to see. Apparently it's still going. I don't know if it's still, they said it was 24 hours. Let me see here. Yeah, it's still going. So apparently they're still doing it, and it was cool because I haven't paid attention to Rob Skiba's channel in a long time. I mean, I've just kind of, let it go. I haven't really. Yeah, I used to love watching or going through all of his videos, and once you've seen, pretty much what you've seen one of them, or once you've seen that, the one video, you've kind of seen it, and it kind of repeats. Rob had a way of telling you the same thing over and over again. He had his routine down pretty much. So you kind of had the same information over and over again. And I just kind of went a different way with other stuff. I mean, we've talked about, the Native American culture, and we've talked about, America being Egypt and all these things. We've moved past a point where he was teaching, and I think I've gone on to other things. So I haven't really been back since. But yesterday they were doing that, and I decided to watch, and it was interesting. It was one of the first conventions he was doing. It was pre-flat Earth, because after he had gotten into flat Earth, it was just nothing but flat Earth, pretty much. But this was pre-flat Earth, and he was talking about the name of Yeshua, and he was talking about what the pictographs of the letters mean. And according to him, and I can't find it now, it was only like maybe a 20-second, 30-second blurb inside of a 2-hour video. So you're digging to try to find it, and I could not find it. But I did get pretty close to something the way that he said it. And so I'm gonna pull you guys in over here, and this is going to get a bit. No, I don't want that one. Where's my? There we go. It's going to get a bit deep, and it's going to go from one thing to the next to the next to the next, because this is how I put things together. Let me make sure that I'm still looking good. All right. So you're going to have to follow along with me and bear with me and hope that this doesn't go off the rails. So the name Yeshua, in a pictograph form, he said was something along the lines of the hand of the Creator destroys evil by piercing the eye, or something to those lines, something to that effect. And he was coming at it from a slant of when Christ was on the earth, and he was giving the sermon, or not giving a sermon, when he was talking to Peter and his disciples, and he was asking them, "Who do you think I am?" They were at the base of Mount Hermon, which is one of the places where they think that the Watchers came down at. He was saying that, when you're sitting there at Mount Hermon, you have the Temple of Zeus, you have the what is it, the Temple of Nimrod, you have all of these evil structures made to these truly evil people all in one place. And what Christ was doing was he was putting himself directly up against Zeus, because you have to remember that the Greeks thought that Zeus was the one true God. He was it. And Christ was there, and he was saying flat out, "Who do you believe I am?" And Peter was telling him, "You are the one true God." And that was when Christ pretty much told Peter, "You are the rock upon which this church will be built." Because, he was directly defying Zeus. He was defying that Greek culture, that understanding. Similarly, to what I've said before, similarly to the way that God took Abraham and told him to sacrifice his kid. Why did Abraham straight up say, "Okay, sure, no problem"? He didn't like it. He was crying the whole way. But he knew that when God told him to sacrifice his kid, he had to go do it. Why? Because that's the culture that Abraham came out of. They were sacrificing kids. So he didn't question it until God stopped him and said, "No, I'm not like those other gods. I will give you something better than this. This will prove to you that I am not like them. You don't have to do this." That's part of what that was. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people don't seem to understand that, that's part of what that was, because that was the culture he came out of. He came out of that culture of, "Oh, well, we sacrifice kids all the time. Let's go ahead and do it." That was part of that. But this was Christ directly and blatantly in the face of the Greek gods saying, "I'm better than you. I am the one true one. I will stand up against you. You are nothing. You are those wooden and metallic idols that can do nothing for themselves." That's what he was saying. So he was putting it in that context of, even the name says he has come here to destroy evil. It is by his hand that he can destroy evil. But it was weird. This is in the pictograph form. This is not in, the letter form. I'm sure the letter form probably follows along too, but this is in the pictograph form. So the pictograph, the yud, I think it's the yod, shows an arm or a hand. It means to work, throw, worship, or create was another one I saw too. There's another one that I have here that worship is another one, but it's in creating something. It's in putting something together. The shin, which represents teeth, the two front teeth, is to consume, destroy, to consume and destroy. So put together, just the two of them, is a creator, someone who has come to create, has come to destroy through his creation. The creator has sent someone to destroy. The Vav is a tent peg or a nail to secure, attach, hook together. You can kind of see where this is going. It is the creator came to destroy with a nail. And then the last one is the ion, which is the eye. With the nail through the eye to destroy the eye. What eye is this? Well, this is where it gets weird. So it's this whole thing put together. Is that the creator comes to destroy by piercing the eye. And I stopped and said, well, wait a minute. I've seen so much symbolism and so many different things that have to do with this, that this can't just be a coincidence. This can't just be, there is a message here that I'm supposed to get. So it was something I spent the whole day thinking about. I really did. It really kind of got to me. This is the same one. Again, it's the, when you come down to it, though, he who creates, destroys, saves, and reveals is a way to look at it. But again, from a pictograph standpoint, there is this eye. And I never really understood it. And we've gone through the Hebrew alphabet when we did Psalm 119, if you remember that. Was it one? It was 119, wasn't it? Yes, it was 119. What are you doing? But we went through all of these, and we looked through all the letters, and we went through all of this because every part of Psalm 119 is a letter, and you go through the whole thing, and you read it, and it's making me wonder. Maybe we should read those 4 by themselves and see what happens. I don't know. But when he said it, something snapped in my mind. So I said, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I immediately stopped and said, okay, he said evil eye. When Rob Skiba said evil eye, I was like, what does that mean, evil eye? So the first thing I did was I looked up evil eye. And what you come up with when you look up evil eye is you find this Greek eye. Now, this supposedly is a piece of jewelry that you can wear in order to ward off evil spirits. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not going to go there. But it's supposed to be a symbol of protection. Of course, when somebody tells you that anything is for a symbol of protection, you should probably be wary of what it is. So I was looking at this and I said, wait, what is... This is a thing, especially in Greek culture. At the time, you remember, the Romans were just taking over the Greeks. So there was still a lot of that Greek culture floating around. So Christ would have seen this everywhere. Christ stood at the temple of, what is it? The temple of Pergamon, I think it's what it is. Where the giant statue of Zeus would have been. He stood right there openly and, he asked, who do you think I am? So this stuff would have been around. He would have had people that would have been going around wearing these eyes. Now remember, we're talking about the hand of the Creator destroying the evil eye, piercing the evil eye. Some of you might see where this is going already. But I was looking at the symbology here, and of course, you've got stuff like this. You can see the 6s, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. It's interesting stuff. Other things like this. And you see things like this, and you're like, oh, look, it's the eye in the pyramid. Where have we seen this stuff before? All over the place. Different things like this. And then you start getting into the Hamsa eyes. Now, I've known about these for a while. The Hamsa eyes, I found out some interesting things about these. So the Hamsa eyes are not just, they're not just Hindu symbol. They're Jewish. Apparently, the Jewish wear these as well. Kabbalism. Again, it's the same symbolism. It's the eye in the pyramid in the middle of the hand. Over and over again, we see this constantly. But it's not just a Greek thing. It's not just a Hindu thing. It's a Jewish thing as well. There's something going on here. It keeps repeating itself. These patterns keep repeating themselves over and over and over again. So there's stuff like this. You get these things over and over and over again. And I kept thinking, what does this mean? Why am I getting this imagery in my head? Why does all this fit together? Well, there was one place that I've seen this over and over and over again. This is Native American hand drawings. This is the spirals. And this is the Hamsa. We don't have to worry about that. These are the spirals. This is Native American. This is after the Mississippian culture. Spirals. We talk about the spirals all the time. We talk about the spirals. We talk about the portals. The pilgrimage that the Cahokians had to make because they believed that the constellation of Orion was a hand. It wasn't an archer. They believed that it was a hand and that you had to walk the fingers, the path of the fingers, and then walk the spiral around into the middle of the hand. That was one of their beliefs. That was part of the whole thing of Orion. Makes you rethink everything you know about Egyptians, because the Egyptians worshipped Orion as well. It makes you think. So then I went looking for South Americans, and I found pretty much the same thing. South American hands with the eyes in it, and sure enough, I keep finding them. And then I started thinking about this stuff. So you remember Cahokia? You remember all the pictures that we took, the Mississippian culture? Everything that we saw while we were out in Illinois. The same imagery with the snakes, the world snakes, floating around them. Mississippi hands. There's the eye in the middle. The sun with the cross. And the eyes over and over and over again. Let me see if I can find another. Where's the other good one that we see? There they are again. The eyes with the hands in them. The hands with the eyes in them. Sheesh. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on a second. I've been sneezing this morning. It's been great. But I've been seeing this constantly over and over and over again. The hand with the eye. The sun god. The map of... Can we go into this without it being stupid? Let me see. Do they have a good map in here? Orion. This being Orion's belt. The sword. This is what they believed. You come up through the hand and you spiral into the palm. It's like palm reading. This is one of the things that God told us not to do, was divination, palm readings. But this is what they believed. This was the wrist. This was the thumb. These were the hands. You walk up through the middle finger into the middle of the hand, kind of like Cahokia, where the great mound of Cahokia was in the middle of the palm. And the serpent trail that they had to make the pilgrimage of, they started out at the, what was the two mounds? The serpent mounds. Not the serpent mounds. What were they called? It was two mounds that were 20 miles away. They had to walk. They hit the serpent mound. And then they had to make the pilgrimage all the way back up into the great mound in the middle. It's part of that. It's the same symbology. over and over and over again. And it started getting me really thinking. What is that? Southeastern Ceremonial Complex. Where that is? Etowah Indian Mounds in Georgia. See? And these things over and over and over again. It's the same stuff. Cahokia. New study debunks myth of Cahokia's Native American lost civilization. Really? Right. But Cahokia, it was set up to where the mound was in the middle, and they had to make the journey through the middle of the thing. You've seen this imagery over and over and over again. You've seen it in movies. You've seen it everywhere else. Same stuff. So where else have we seen the eyes? Well, it's the eye of Horus. It's been there from the beginning. From the very beginning, the eye of Horus. The Egyptian god that has ruled secretly behind the scenes of everything. The eye in the pyramid. The eye in the pyramid that's on the back of your dollar bills. Over and over again, the imagery. The Egyptian eagles that are on the back of your money, that were stamped on the back of coins, have been stamped on the back of coins for years upon years upon years. The Egyptians had it, the Romans had it, the Greeks had it. We have it. We still have it to this day. Who was Horus? Well, interestingly enough, the eagle-headed Egyptian god. I didn't even look up Horus. I just looked up eagle-headed Egyptian god because I was thinking about Nisroch. And sure enough, it's Horus. You can't make this stuff up. It's Horus, the falcon-headed, eagle-headed, whatever you want to call it. It's the eagle-headed god. What other gods are eagle-headed? Well, Nisroch. This is the Mississippian god Nisroch. This is Babylonian, actually. But he is similar to the eagle-headed god that we saw at Cahokia. The symbology is the same. This is when we talked about the Native American headdresses. It's the eagle heads. It's the wings. Where's the one that we had? Right here. When you look at it in color, you can see it. The fringes. You can see the fringes. You can see the eagle. You can see it. It's right there in front of you. It's always been there, right in front of your face. We've never looked at it like this before. But this has always been there. This is Horus. This is Horus. This is that eagle god Horus, the eye of Horus. All of this symbology that they have over and over. We're talking about the same gods over and over and over again. The Hamsa eyes, the Native American spirals. This is after the Mississippian culture, because the Mississippian culture went away in what they say is the 12th, 14th century. That's what they say, of course. Hamsa eye, the Greek eye. The Greek eye and the Hamsa eye go together. It's the same stuff over and over again. It's Horus, Nisroch. I just found this one out today. I knew this, but I don't know why I never even put it together. Garuda. It's the Indian god, Garuda. The eagle-headed god. And I'm like, oh, what? Why have I never thought about this before either? I did when I used to do I did those Final Fantasy, I think it was 1, 2, and 3 playthroughs on my channel, and I would stop and I would talk about the monsters that you would have to kill, the creatures that you would have to kill, and every one of those monsters is named or is symbolically like some kind of a god or a creature from mythology. And Garuda is it's a dragon slash bird. It depends on which game you're playing. So I should know, what Garuda was. But I never knew until now that Garuda was an eagle-headed god. It's the same thing. It's over and over and over again. And I'm sure that there are people that can say, no, that's not what it was. But no, it's right there in front of your face. It's the same gods. These are the same creatures. Babylonian, Sumerian, Egyptian, Hindu. Do you see it? It's over and over and over again. This is some kind of connection here. And I don't know why I kept getting these connections that, they should all go together. There is no, I said at the beginning of this video, there is no answer. There is no answer here. I've been praying to God, what is the answer? Are we supposed to make the connections just to make the connections, or what? So, of course, I went through, the Nisroch stuff, and then I went back to Amaru, which is another god of South America, which is the snake god. I mean, we talk about everybody having the eagle-headed gods. Well, this is the snake god. Egyptians have a snake god. Nehebaku? I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know what that is, but it's the snake. Now, this is a lot of people will talk about whenever you see the Egyptian headdresses, and they say the snake that's coming out of the forehead, and that's the snake god that they follow. I don't know if that's true or not. Some of them have the two. They have the snake and they have an eagle head. Some of them have two snake heads. Some of them have different stuff to them. But it's the same thing over and over again. It's the snake god. This is a seraphim. It's a seraph. Seraph is a snake. Seraphim is a snake god. It's an angel snake god. Seraphim. It's a snake with wings. Plumed serpent. Japanese dragon. The Japanese actually have a snake god too. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. I went looking for a Hindu snake god. Guess what? They have Hindu snake gods, Hindu snake goddesses. It's interesting though. Whenever you look up snake gods or snake goddesses, you start finding women like Medusa. Medusa was a goddess that had snakes coming out of her head. So I was looking through this, and I found some interesting stuff here as well. Now, the coiled snakes, the wrapped snakes, like a DNA chain. We've seen this stuff forever, too. This is the same stuff over and over again. Babylonian. This is your medicine. You've seen this stuff. Babylonian, Sumerian, over and over and over again. There's some more right there. Same things. Over and over and over again. Very, very weird. Very interesting things. So I kind of stopped there because it was getting Medusa. It's Greek. It all fits together. It all comes together in this weird, crazy... I don't know, man. I don't know what to say it was. Manasa, the snake goddess, worshipped by the Hindus, mainly for the prevention and cure of snake bites. It's interesting, because I was thinking about this stuff, and the one scripture that I remember that pops out to me is when the Israelites were in the wilderness and God told Moses to hang a snake from a pole and that they would be healed from the snake bites. And I don't know why I had this, the understanding that I had when I thought about it was he crucified a snake on a pole, and people were healed because of that. Now I don't think that is what this is. There are a lot of people that will say, well, that's exactly what this is that it's, Moses, putting a snake on a stick, and, they were wrapped around the stick, and that's how we get medicine. I don't buy that 100%. I really don't. I mean, I get it that, yes, okay, but no, I don't. This is something different. These are the wings of an angel. These are the wings of an angel that I don't know what the stick down the middle would be, unless it is just them taking that story of Moses and twisting it for their own means. But it's the double helix, the double snake helix. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the idea of the serpent bloodline, but this all means something. DNA stuff, it means something. I don't know what, but that's a different conversation for a different time. It completely. I mean, you can get into this stuff. This stuff gets into it. The Anunnaki and all the. I mean it. But again, this is eagle-headed gods. One of them may be Nisroch. The other one may well be Horus. They've always been doing this. They've always been playing with this, manipulating us. There's something to all of this stuff. This all fits together somehow. And I don't really know how just yet. I mean, I prayed about this. I really did. I was like, what does this mean? Why am I getting this imagery just by talking about Christ defeating evil by piercing the eye? Well, it's this. For some reason they had this. This is that star worship. They worship this stuff. They believe this is a spiritual path. They read the palms. They read the stars. They live by this. Your lifeline, your money line, your whatever. It is by your hand. It is their works caused by their hands. They're gods made by their hands. That's what the Bible says. They will purposely grow trees in order to cut them down just to make new gods every year. Purposely grow trees just to make their gods. It is their works, their hands, men's work. Christ has come to defeat evil by piercing the hand, piercing the eye, piercing that spiritual journey that they make. He has come to defeat that. He is better than this. How does he pierce it? He got crucified. Whether you believe that it was through the wrist or through the palm, that means something. That means something right there. This was the biggest part of the message that I got yesterday. This was Christ being crucified through the hand. This and this. The spiral. This. He got crucified through the palm. Something to it. Something bigger than me. something way bigger than me that I can't. Maybe that is the message. Maybe that's the message, is that Christ came here to tear all of this down, and all of this means nothing. Christ is our true Lord. It is only through him can we be saved, because anything else is of man and is of man's own works, and cannot save you, cannot do anything for you. It is vanity. We read that over and over again. We've read that over and over and over again. Everything in this world is vanity. We will read it more as we get into Jeremiah. Is that everything is vanity. That everything is only there made by man for themselves. That it can only prosper themselves. It cannot do anybody else any good. But Christ came and was crucified, pierced that eye, and took it all away. You want to talk about finding true meaning in all things. I mean, really, really finding true meaning in all things. And how all of this connects. And how all of this comes together. This is part of it. This is where it starts. It starts with stuff like this. You have to understand that we have been lied to and manipulated for years. And it's still there. It's still there. We still worship it. I mean, it's still unknowingly we worship this stuff. But the people that cause your demise are the people that have been doing this to you for years. And the symbology has been there for years. And we're only now starting to wake up to this stuff. It's in every culture. It's in every place. It's in every culture all around the world. Same things over and over and over and over and over. And we constantly see it. Same imagery. Everywhere. All the way back to America. It's been here. It's been here for years. I don't believe that America was named after some Frenchman. It is Amaru, the Amaru Ka. The Ka. It's the land of Amaru. Amaru Ka. That's how they say it. The land of Amaru. It's that same snake god, the seraphim. You remember that snake that was in the garden that tempted Eve with the fruit? The one that God said, you will crawl on your belly from here on out. It seems like these cultures go out of their way to take these things and you'll crawl on your belly. So they just took the legs off of it. Seraphim, snake god Nehabuka. I don't even know. I can't even pronounce it, man. It doesn't even matter. These are all garbage ass gods anyways. It's just over and over and over. Japanese dragon. Yes, there was a let's see if I can go back. Japanese snake god. Here we go. There's a couple of them. Benzetin, dragon, white snake goddess. There you go. There's one for you. You've seen this imagery. You've seen these things over and over again. Your movies, the video games, your myths, your legends. That's Medusa, but it's not. It's over and over again. So there are no answers here. I really don't have any answers here. What was this? Snake goddess. This was Babylonian snake goddess. Snake handlers. Look at the pyramids. Look at the pyramids. Come on now, with their tits out. What is that on top of her head? Prior to restoration. Yeah, like they totally knew. What is that on her head? Full skirt made of 7 foot slits. This is likely to represent a striped cloth. Topped by a spherical object believed was a gold crown. A small cat. A cat on top of it. Oh, you mean like the way that Egyptians worshipped cats? There's a cat right there. It's part of the way to be able to wake up to all of this. It has to be. It has to be a way to wake up to all of this. And you want to know where it all ends? Creator comes to destroy the evil eye using a nail. This is where it started. Where's the Eye of Horus? This is where it started. We've gone through all this stuff. All of this. That's where it starts. All this. Babylonian, Sumerian. I mean, we're talking about stuff pre-Egyptian. All of this ends in that. So is that the answer? Father, was that the answer that you wanted me to give him? That's not. There was a reason that we were told to go to Illinois, to go look up the Mississippian culture. Because if we hadn't gone to Cahokia, if we hadn't gone out there, I never would have I never would have found this stuff on my own. We were pulled to go out there, to go see it for ourselves, to go find this. This is the path. That's what this is. Coming up through the hand, finding enlightenment up to the sun. Because they worship the sun. They all worship the sun. Every single one of them. There's nothing new under the sun. Because it's all the same stuff over and over and over again through the centuries. The names have changed. The deities may have changed slightly. They may have mixed and matched here and there, but it's all the same stuff over and over and over and over and over for years. And you have been tricked and lied to and manipulated into thinking it means nothing. It all means something. It's all there. And the hidden message, I am supposing. But the best message that I can think of for right now is that Christ came. God came in the form of a man in order to tear down all of that garbage so that we can be saved. That's all I got. That's really all I got. That's the best way I can put it. It was just an aha moment, just an aha moment, just oh, hey, look there. It seems like this is where we've been led. It just seems like everything has just been leading up to this, to these points. There's still more. There's still more I have to find. There's still more I have to do. There's still more that needs to be seen and put together. And as I go along and I find more, of course I will always share everything. But this is just what I found. But it connects constantly, and you can make those dots. You can connect those dots over and over and over. And it's not hard. That's a Google search. You want to really open somebody's eyes and really show them that everything is not what it seems. That's part of it. That's a way to look at it. Everything is connected, and none of it works for our benefit. For the low man on the bottom of the pyramid, because that's their structure that they made. For the low man on the bottom of the pyramid, that we can see it. I don't even know where that was going. I forgot what I was saying. I guess that's good. That's a good sign that I should probably stop and move on. I wanted to share that because it was just it was crazy. That's all I can say. It's crazy. Just all day yesterday, just trying to make sense of it, trying to put it together. And mind-blowing, really, when you think about it, it's mind-blowing. Especially the journey that we were taking, the path that I had to get to this point. the things that I had to, understand and see, and to be able to to bring it back here, and then to be able to put that together. Because again, if we hadn't gone to Illinois, I never would have known that they have symbology of eyeballs inside of hands. I never would have thought of going to Cahokia unless I had started understanding that there are Hebrew and Egyptian artifacts that were found in the Americas, that there are legends, or not legends, there are stories that talk about the Israelites fleeing to America, that this place had gods called the Amaru, that there are Egyptian artifacts that were found in the Grand Canyon, that there's places, every major spire of the Grand Canyon is named after an Egyptian god, that, the Mississippi is so similar to the Nile River, and that there are Egyptian cities all the way down the Mississippi River, or names of cities that, are the same as Egyptian cities. I never would have known this. I never would have known that had it not been for, again, finding out that the Israelites very well could have come over. I never would have found any of that out unless I found out the earth was flat. It's been like this series of steps, and I'm to this point of, just overhearing about the name of Yeshua and how that fits in. The pictographs, we never would have really thought about the pictographs unless I had done the Bible readings. The Psalms, Psalm 119, what was it? How many videos? 24? Or was it 24 or 23? I think it was 23. I don't remember, but we went through every single one of those. I made every single one of those videos, and every single one of those I stopped and I looked up the letter. I looked up the meaning. We went through the whole deal, trying to figure out if the letter meant something based upon the psalm itself, or that part of the psalm meant, if it matched up somehow. And we looked up the pictographs and we saw those, because each one of those pictographs means something within itself, and they make up a word together. So each word has something like 10 different meanings or something. But we never would have known. It's the path that I had to take to get to this point. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But I think that's the ultimate message. Christ came to get rid of all these false gods that have been there forever, that are still there, that everybody worships. You've been lied to about history. You've been lied to about the isolationism of the ancient past. These people all knew each other. They all followed the same gods. They all followed the same places. And the Bible says all of these people were together at one point in time until God separated them. That was the Tower of Babel. They were all together at one point in time. They all worshiped the same gods. They spoke the same language. They had their one world where they were all formed together. And God separated them out. They took those legends with them. They took those tales. They took their gods with them. The names changed because the languages changed. When the languages changed, they had to create something different. So it was the same God, just a little bit different. And they settled. They all went out and they settled where they were, and they changed their gods to suit their needs. But it's all the same. And this may or may not have happened more recent than you think. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to have been, what, 3,000 years, 4,000 years. It could have been a lot sooner than that. Just makes you think. Just makes you think. I don't know. I don't have definite answers. I have connections to what's all we've ever had is just connections and puzzle pieces that we don't have the solution to. We're trying to put it together. So that's part of it. All right. So I'm going to go to work. Next week, I don't know if I'm going to be recording next week. I'll tell you what. They have approved me for overtime, and I'm going to take it. We got some bills we got to pay off. We got to play the game while we're here. So we got some bills that I got to pay off, and I need the overtime. So I'm probably going to be working. I don't know if I'm going to be working 10 hours a day, but I'm definitely going to be working. So if I don't record, I don't record. It just is what it is. But I don't know. It might be a good thing I don't record. And I'm so close to being kicked off of YouTube. Anyhow. But yeah, dude, go look this stuff up. Go do it yourself. This stuff is easy. This stuff is easy to go find. It really, truly is. It's amazing. Just a Google search, and you don't even have to like try to know the names of anything. If you see a god that has a head in the shape of an eagle, just look up eagle-headed god, and you'll find it. And you'll find like three different cultures. Just look at 3 different cultures, and you'll find it. Find out who they are. Find out their similarities. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Look at these similarities between these gods. And look at what the schools have told you. Now, if your schools were wrong, if your professors and teachers and scientists and archaeologists and everybody else have never seen the similarities between these cultures before, they are either wrong or lying. It's one of the two. If they're wrong, then they're stupid because they can't see it. So why are you listening to them to begin with? If they're lying, why are they lying? Why are they lying? Why would they lie? What are they hiding? What are they protecting? And it goes further than that. The symbology is all over the place. Look into symbology. You don't have to jump headlong into it, and you don't have to become like some symbology expert, but holy crap, it's not that hard to see it. The numerology, it's not that hard to see it. Ask yourself why you constantly see certain numbers all the time. Just ask yourself that question. It's not because of luck. It's not because of fate. You're seeing them because they're just out there all the time. I think I'm seeing them now because, my life is attuned to them. At one point in time, somebody told me everything I ever do is timed to 333, no matter what I do. And I started seeing 333 everywhere because somebody said it. Now everything I do is timed to 923. It happens constantly. 923, 329, 239. I see it all over because I've seen the numbers everywhere because it means something to me now. Find it. Go look for it. It's out there. Everything is out there. You just have to look. Open your eyes and look. Use it to open other people's eyes. I think that's the main thing. Use it to open up other people's eyes. See it. Show them the symbology. And then tell them Christ, Yeshua, was sent here to pierce the evil eye. He was here to destroy it. Through the palm with a nail. Maybe that's the message. It's the best message I got. All right. I shall talk to you all later. God bless every one of you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you whenever.